I liked Quick Bits last week so much. We're just gonna do it all over again.
We're gonna keep it, baby. You want me to do it, or do you want to do it?
You can do it. I like you doing things. Let's hop into it. What do you got?
Alrighty. So first, in the batting order, I guess we got Biden is been rumored to begin construction on the wall. Quote, filling in the gaps were the words used on that article. Number two, the second little quick bit we got for you. Americans support the idea that for The Rock, Will Smith, Tom Hanks, Oprah, and others to run for office. That's good. AOC donated around $160,000 to corporate Democrats. We assumed she was on the side of the people. I'm not sure who, but somebody did at some point. Fourth runner-up, we got tension in Minneapolis as it pretty much hit the cusp of that tension as Dante Wright was recently killed by a police officer today, April 12th, I think. I think it was today. And
it
then
was
the last.
I got the New York Times, excuse me, notification on 2:00 this morning. So Eastern.
Yeah, very early. And the last tidbit we got, if you've been listening to the show for a while now, this is some great news for you. Russia has moved troops to the Ukrainian border. So many troops that there haven't been this many since 2014. In 2018, the Ukraine, approved by Trump, began buying Javelin missiles from the United States.
All right, so Nash, there's quite a bit to dig into here. So let's start with the wall. So I don't know if everyone calling it the racist border wall under Trump is a hypocrite, or if they just don't know construction is going to continue, or I don't know what to make of this, because the mainstream propaganda, as I'm going to start coining it, hasn't really touched on it that much.
Yeah, it hasn't been touched on it. It was some smaller pieces. We're talking about it. A lot of rumors. So I don't think anything's 100%, but it seems like a few White House people up there were saying the gaps in the wall are going to be filled, which was exactly what Trump was doing. Yeah,
literally verbatim what Trump was doing. It was this, and not only that, Nash. He's not even finishing Trump's wall. He's finishing Obama's wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's finishing the wall he already started.
He's sticking to what he knows, and he knows how to build walls.
I mean, what a shock. Biden is going to do what he's been doing since the day he's been in office. So that's an interesting one. I don't know. Personally, I don't think that's a terrible idea. I don't think that's a terrible policy to rebuild the wall or finish the wall. I mean, say what you want about the wall, effective or ineffective. It's the fact that he's a hypocrite. The fact that he went back on his word, and for the past 4 years, Democrats are calling Trump a racist for finishing the wall, and now it's just, good old Uncle Joe is just doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah,
that bothers me more than.
This wall's different because this guy's building it. It's like it doesn't really change it.
Like
wall is a wall.
It's the hypocrisy. It's the lying. It's the propaganda. All that bothers me more because you know what? Fuck it. I'm more inclined to support the wall than to not support a wall because our immigration is this such a mess. In the wall, I'm not going to say the wall's completely ineffective. I think it's kind of pointless and a waste of money, but it's not completely ineffective either.
Yeah, and I mean, let's also keep in mind that this is after the fact of how horrifically he handled the border situation with the kids in cages round 2.
Right.
Return of the children. Like it's egregious.
They're teenagers, Nash. They're teenagers. Come on now.
Okay. Okay.
Remember, they're like 15 to 17. Those aren't really kids,
Yeah.
I'm using the mainstream propaganda's lingo here now.
Yeah. It's a mostly legal border crossing.
Oh yeah, it's mostly legal. It's mostly COVID free, really. Oh, okay. We're working on Facebook, Nash. Everything is working. All the streams are working. I'm sorry if you heard that. But I just gotta do my due diligence here. So next up, The Rock, among other celebrities, including Will Smith, Tom Hanks, Oprah, and many others, considering. I don't know if they're considering, but it was like a poll, so it's credible, of if you would vote for them, if would you want them to run. I don't know about you, Nash. I would vote for The Rock.
I don't think I would.
I mean, it can't be worse than Joe Manchin. It can't be worse than what we have right now.
I'd vote for Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he can't be president.
I feel like is that why you would vote for him? Because he can't win. I feel like The Rock is incorruptible. You can't corrupt The Rock. He's The Rock.
I don't think that's true. And I don't think he has what qualifies him?
He's 6'3", like 800 pounds, and gorgeous and charismatic.
Well, he's not hand-to-hand fighting anybody as president.
All right, he's like a 5-time WWE champion. All right, he's the people's champion. He led a race movement known as the Nation of Domination. Anyone who knows 1998 Monday Night Raw knows Nation of Domination. They're essentially the Black Panthers on wrestling. So he knows race issues. He's been a tooth fairy. And he's been in Jumanji twice, all right? The man's experienced.
Yeah.
All right, so overall, like...
All right, I guess I'm voting for him.
can we agree that celebrities shouldn't... I mean, not fuck it. Celebrities should run for politics, because at least... I don't know, Nash. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to think about this one. I'd vote for The Rock just because I love The Rock. But Tom Hanks, maybe. Will Smith, probably not. Oprah, she can go fuck herself.
I didn't know you had such beef with Oprah. What did Oprah do to you?
Nothing. I just think she's phony.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that's your opinion. I don't know too much about Oprah.
And as everyone knows, I like to say, everyone's entitled to their wrong opinion. So that's mine. AOC. Everyone's, well, I guess no one's, I don't know, everyone's favorite or least favorite politician, depending who you ask. So, Nash, she, as well as a bunch of the other Justice Democrats, run on and are proud to run on that they don't take corporate dollars. They don't take corporate donations. They are grassroots, small-funded operations. Now, that's good on paper, but is it really that good if all the money you give her just ends up going to the corporate Democrats anyway? Yeah,
it's kind of just like you've created a middleman.
Yeah, so why is she doing this? I don't understand why she's doing this. It could be because she wants to be in their good graces. She doesn't like taking the heat. She wants to be popular within the clique of politics. I honestly don't know. But,
I feel like it's to get in the good graces more than anything.
Yeah. She ran on minimum wage, $15, Medicare for all. Running on that there is no left party. The United States doesn't have a left party. She said that in 2020 or in 2019. There is no Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is a moderate right party, meaning the corporate Democrats. She has been on record saying we need to fight them. We need to put pressure on them to change. That's what she says in public to her supporters. But now she's going to donate around $160,000 to people who disagree with everything she supposedly stands for.
Yeah, who's literally her supposed antithesis.
Right. So it's either she's a fraud, I think she's a fraud, she's afraid, or she's just all bark and no bite. Because we've covered this on the show.
She's a fraidy fraud with no teeth, dude. That's what you're summing it up here.
I mean, if you want someone who hates AOC more than anybody, listen to Jimmy Dore. He talks about her every single day. He really doesn't like, he doesn't like Ro Khanna. He doesn't like Rashida Tlaib. He doesn't like any of the quote unquote the squad. He doesn't like Bernie Sanders because they don't fight for what they believe in. He aligns with them on their beliefs. He wants Medicare for all. He wants $15 minimum wage, but he calls out the people who say they're going to fight for it and then don't. So that's the main point of this story. It's just, why do people support her? And here's the funny thing, Nash. The Democrats she gave money to either gave it back or said we don't want it.
Wow. So they're more morally upright. Say it ain't so. Oh my god.
That was the craziest part of the story. And again, these quick bits are just like, headlines we quick react to. There's not so much in-depth research like we do on our other stories. So if you want details on that, please do your own research and let us know what you think. But really, that was like the crux of the few videos I watched on this without actually writing down any physical notes. Yeah, they just gave the money back. They just like, we want nothing to do with you. You are political cancer.
Wow. You think it was a setup?
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Like they had told her, yeah, give us this money, behind closed doors. And then when she did, they publicly denied it. Or publicly returned it. Refused it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't think. Now that I say that, I don't think anybody is smart enough to actually do that in politics.
Yeah, remember these are Democrats we're talking about here, and Republicans aren't much smarter. So Nash, you mentioned tension in Minneapolis. Let's shelf that for a little bit until we get to our final story covering the Derek Chauvin case.
I just thought it was good to mention that there's already the trial hasn't come to a conclusion, and there's already a lot of unrest going on.
So the trial has been going on for a few weeks, and we haven't touched upon it as much because it's still ongoing. Like there's not much to really talk about yet because there's no verdict, there's no nothing. And now we are going to bring up the police chief who testified against Chauvin, which I thought that was worth discussing and an interesting talking point to bring up. So there's that. But Nash, you have Russia has moved troops to the Ukraine border Is this for the first time since 2014?
No, there haven't been this many Russian troops on the Ukrainian border since 2014.
Remind me which president armed a bunch of Ukrainians?
Ukrainians?
The Ukrainian militia people? The Ukraine? What's the proper term for Ukraine? Okay, all right, sidebar. When is the term Saudis going to be offensive? We refer to Saudi Arabians as the Saudis?
I thought it was offensive.
But I saw it on public news said the Saudis. They say the Saudis a lot. So I guess what is the proper term for the Ukrainian people? The Ukrainians? What's the proper term? What are they, the Ukrainians?
Well, I think they're Eastern European, and I guess I'm not sure what it is. I mean, you would 100% be proper by saying like the government of the Ukraine.
Okay. But anyway, Nash, my point was,
if you go for it.
my point was, which president was arming them to fight the Russians? It was actually the Manchurian candidate of Russia, Donald Trump. What a catch! What a catch-22 that is. And there's still Russiagating.
Trump.
There's still Russiagating, and Jimmy Dore actually did like a 1 hour video of like all the funny headlines of Russiagating. I got 8 minutes in and I stopped watching it. It was just too much. But
oh my God.
Yeah. So Nash, why is this significant?
Well, as I was saying earlier, pretty much Ukraine has been trying to become its own nation for a very long time. They pretty much have been, but Russia likes to do this thing when they just expand their borders illegally and then nobody does anything to them, and then they'll do sanctions for a little bit, if anything, and then they'll be like, okay, stop. Then the second the sanctions stop, they just do it even more aggressively. And yeah, it's kind of just like straight up, this is evil, I guess. It's like the best way to say it. They're trying to conquer free people that doesn't want to be part of that government. And the Ukraine has been Russia's bitch for a while, for a very long time. It's a very confusing history too, because it's sort of in the section, it's in the middle of a lot of crossroads. So the Ukraine has a lot of diversity just across the board, just because of how many types of people and ideas and stuff have flown through it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Nash. If you gave me a map of Europe and said point out Ukraine, and you gave me 3 guesses, I might get it on the third.
You might. I mean, it's next to Russia.
Okay. That helps. It's near Russia. And I've played a lot of Risk in my day, so I'm gonna have to channel my inner Risk. And for some reason, I always loved getting the Ukraine. No idea why. It's just something as a kid I liked getting. That in Australia, I was one of those guys who hunkered down and put all their troops in Australia and then expanded outwards. Was a bold strategy. It never played off. I was so bad at Risk, Nash. Let me tell you, bad. But we're going to talk
about our launching pad.
Yeah, Australia be a launching pad, and then South America. That didn't work either. Apparently, you got to really just bum rush Europe and just go for it.